What strategies have you found most effective for dealing with unpredictability of both parenting and entrepreneurship? Answering that today. What up, parentpreneurs? This is Will Mosley. I've been a parent for 10 years now. We've put hundreds of thousands of hours on the parenting clock. As far as business goes, I've always wanted to start my own business. I've been trying the journey of starting my business since like I was 18, 19. It was not an easy path. But we've clocked up over 1 million hours on the clock in freelance entrepreneurship, are all the things that go into it, So we're here. We're going to answer that question, but we're also going to answer, could you describe a breakthrough moment in your business that occurred as a result of insights gained from parenting? And then, how do you involve your family in your entrepreneurial endeavors, if at all? All that today on the Parentpreneur Support Channel. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay, so, get into it, get a little focus going. We are on our way to work right now. Let's see. So, what strategies have you found most effective for dealing with unpredictability of both parenting and entrepreneurship? So, boom. Let's get our focus good, and we're good to go. Boom. Pull that down so you can see me. All right, can you see me? Great. Good. All right. Put that there for just a second. Chink. There we go. So, I think as far as the unpredictability of parenting that's like almost always, right? Like, there's always something that comes up that you have to deal with, that you have to figure out. And I think you can take that same thing of what it is that you do in business and apply that to parenting. So, back out of the driveway. In business, there's so many things that come up every single day that you may not, it may not be part of the normal day that you thought it was supposed to be. And the way to kind of get around a lot of that stuff is to plan. It's to make sure you have a game plan, make sure that your team knows what to do, has a game plan, and that's how we move it. And so the same thing can be applied as, for parents, where if you and your partner, if you guys are like the bosses, if you guys are the bosses, the CEOs of the family. Sorry for the jiggles today. We're trying out doing a little bit different, try to run the thing and go to work at the same time. So do mind me on this. We got a couple things that need to. Okay, put that there. Boom. That's out the way. That is out the way. Okay, and we're gonna try to do the stick so the stick's not too heavy. Can you still see me? Make sure we're pretty good. Get our seatbelt back on. Okay. So just like at work, if you don't plan for like an order or a sale, if you don't plan for like the things that come with entrepreneurship, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be able to make this thing move. And I think the exact same thing applies to parenting. If you and your partner, your SO, if you guys are at ends, not talking to each other, or not really communicating, or not like saying, hey, I got these X things on my list, I need to knock them out. Okay, you got those. If there's a lot of squabbling, you're not going to be able to deal with the unpredictability that comes with parenting. And so I think that's the first thing. If we had to break this down into a couple things, I think that's like the first thing. You've got to bring your partner into the fold. We have a very an extremely effective rule. I talked about this on a couple previous episodes, but we have like mom and dad rules, and that same thing applies. If you don't know what mom and dad rules are, at any given time and point or whatever, like on like a busy day, any day, whatever, you can say, okay, let's do mom and dad rules. And so mom and dad rules look like from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's dad rules. It means that like mom is in her room, hanging, chilling, doing whatever it is that she wants to do, and I'm like on the track, taking care of the kids and making sure they're good. That way she gets focus and time and sleep and whatever it is that she wants. And then also they get, they get the experience what it is, as like dad's rules. This is not mom and dad's rules at this time, where we're kind of doing what mom usually does. No, we're doing exactly what dad does. And of course we have principle. We have we have principles that we stick by. There's certain things that we are that we are completely in line with, but as far as there, like, we have the freedom to kind of parent as we are, as is effective to each of us. And so that same thing is pretty much, it's the same thing as what we do when we do, okay, you got the lead on this, or are you a supporter? Are you a leader, or are you a supporter? Anyone at any given time in the day can be a leader or a supporter, but you cannot have two leaders in the parent space at any given time. Typically who's the leader is dependent on who is also the most tired. So if you see like your partner's like dragging and like just super tired, not like they're not with it, and you've got some energy, you can be like, you know what, I got the leader stick. I'll take the leader stick. And then that other person's job is to be the supporter, right? So we've all had those times and those moments where, like, one second, we're passing by a kid rolling down the street, on the wrong side of the road. We've all had those times where someone else says they're going to lead, but then we start to contradict what they're saying by either coming in and being another leader, or just not supporting what they're saying. And like I said, get your general principles right with your person, because typically you guys have probably a similar parenting style. You just have different ways that you go about doing things. But if I'm a supporter, what my job is saying, okay, got it. You're doing these, you're going to be leading this. Whatever you say, I'm just going to try to support it. Whatever you say, I'm going to try to kind of back it up, because you're low energy. And the vice versa, the same thing goes for, it's same thing. It just switches. If you're the leader, you're taking command, you're taking control of the situation. You're trying to bring the kids collectively together. Okay, guys, we're going to do X, we're going to do Y. You pretty much are creating the game plan and making the game plan happen, instead of having no game plan. So that same thing with the unpredictability, that same thing with work. It's the same thing. You guys, at any given time, you're both doing a job that you were hired to do, right? So I might be in the marketing department, you might be in the sales department. We both have two different jobs that we're doing and taking care of in the business. But there may be a point that I get swamped as a marketer, and I need like a little bit of help from the sales team or whatever, or from you, the salesperson. Like, hey, I really kind of need this. Can you help me on this idea or this whatever? I just don't really know what to do. And they can kind of lead a little bit, or they can kind of collab or whatever. And if you apply that same thing to your parenting style, you know, as you would in the workplace, it's going to then, when unpredictable situations come up, just amplify your response time of how you deal with the situation. For instance, if the kids are going crazy and I'm just like, I have no energy, right? Maybe I've been on the road all day, or maybe I've been like, there's all sorts of different reasons and things and stuff like that. But if that happens and I come in the house and then they're like, hey Dad, can we go to Dunkin' Donuts? And I'm just not even in the space to, where I'm just not even in that space. Like, Mom can kind of see that and be like, okay, I'm going to take the lead on this. And instead of me saying yes or no to Duncan, it more is like, whatever you feel is the right thing to do, I'm going to back up and support. Because I don't really have the capacity to be able to give my hot take and like do it. Like, so if you want to, like, so that's the thing, you know, or anything happens, anything unpredictable happens, if you two are aligned, you both can go through it together. All right, I think I've kind of like gone through what, like, a strategy, at least for dealing with unpredictability. I think it just comes down to being like a really good partner, and then instead of being egocentric about like, oh, I have to do this and you have to do that, and why, like, just, yeah, I got you. You just provide support. Could you describe a breakthrough moment in your business that occurred as a result of insights gained from parenting? So this is kind of opposite, right? We've got, and sorry about the camera moving back and forth. We're just trying this out. I wanted to get a video out to you guys, but I have a long day, so I wanted to make sure at least I'm getting this while I'm driving. As you know, parents never sleep. Woo! The breakthrough moment in your business gained from parenting. We're about to merge onto the highway, so I'm gonna probably save the deep dive on that until I jump on here. So we're gonna put this down and then do it. I can still talk to you. I'm gonna put this down though until we jump on this highway. Side note, did not get home until, what, 2 a.m. last night? 2:30? Yeah, 2:30 a.m. last night. It is currently 8:30, so that's, 5 hours of sleep, 6 hours of sleep on the track. Which that's usually good. That's usually fine. All right, merging on. Stay with me. Okay. Boom. All right, we're on. So, from parenting to business. We're gonna go backwards here. I'm just trying to think of the biggest, a breakthrough moment in your business. I think the breakthrough moment that I had, maybe not absolutely specifically to parenting, but my partner in crime, my spouse, you know, that is the mother of my kids, I realized that I could run a business with my wife. I realized that I could actually do that I have permission to do that, and that we could do it together. And I mean, I've been talking about business like to Laura for like 12 years now, and like it's never really been a thing that like she's wanted to, it's not even wanted to do, it just wasn't really a thing that was like that interesting or engaging or whatever. And it wasn't until I figured I matched what it is that she wanted to do in her life that it all kind of came together. So kind of the story behind this is that I run Start Right. Start Right is a business geared towards parentpreneurs, just like yourselves. Whether it's pretty much either as a parent, you're trying to launch a business, Or when you do finally get that business launched, you figure out like, whoa, I got to do like 10 different hats, 10 different jobs, because entrepreneurship is that. And so like I help focus on helping parents automate or delegate or coach them, or figure out how to implement AI to kind of automate the entirety of the system, kind of make it so that you can make the most of all your hours. And so, with that, with Start Right, I've had Start Right around for a long time, really long time. And I was like, hey, do you think you can do some follow-up? Or hey, do you think you can send out these messages about this promotion? And she was like, yeah, sure, I got you. And she ended up crushing on it. She ended up like just running it up. And I was like, oh my God. And so of course the next thing I thought would be the right thing is like, just, okay, let's double down on that. But I could tell that it was something that she was like, yeah, I can help you with. Like, there's always something that you help out a friend for, or help out, but it may not be like your thing, right? You're like, oh yeah, I got you, I can do that, I can help you on that. But it may not be the thing that you actually want to do. And I kind of got a sense of that, and I got to thinking, I was like, do you want to start like a wedding, like photography and videography business? Would you like to start like a moments business? Like you do photography, I do, videography, and we can pretty much capture like life's milestones and moments, like personal and business. Like we could do that. She's like, that sounds amazing. I'd love to do that. Like we could travel, we can do X, we can do Y. And it wasn't until there was an ownership. There was an ownership to the business. Like, okay, you're gonna do photography, I'm gonna do videography. There wasn't until that was a thing, until that it all came through, because she was excited. She was excited to do like her part, what she wanted to do on her side, and like I was excited to do my part. And then therefore we can then now do business together, and we can be motivated and happy about all of that, versus it just being like a job that you kind of help out with and like, oh sure, whatever. And that was really cool. That was a really big breakthrough. It took some time to kind of figure out, okay, how can we talk about business? When do we talk about business? When are our hours? Like all that stuff. It took some time to figure out all that stuff, but that was absolutely one of the biggest breakthroughs that came from like having my spouse, the mother of my kids, that is now amplifying everything that I do. All right, number 3, last one here. If you're in the deep dive, let me know. Let me know if you're here. If you stuck through all this shaky camera footage, let me know, because like, you're the GOAT. We will probably not be doing shaky camera footage again. But if you're stuck here, you're with it. How do you involve your family in your entrepreneurial endeavors, and if at all? So I kind of the second one that we just answered kind of answers that, but let's talk more about like the parenting, the kids, the stuff like that. Like the kids, they see me making films, they see me doing like a YouTube channel. And Eden wants to, he wants to help edit the films, and King, he wants to be a YouTuber, he wants to be a gaming YouTuber. So it is a very big proponent, and they understand that dad, and mom operate a business, and that there's things that come with that. There's sacrifice that comes with that, the time, the hours, all that stuff. And so that is a second. That is a thing that more and more, like as you think about it, as your kids get older, you really should educate them about business. You really should educate them about money. You really need to be able to bring them in and talk about these things, because they need to be set up for success. They need to be set up to do well. Like, it takes a lot of learning and mistakes to really start moving as a business owner. And then when you add kids to that, when you're a first-time parent, Like it feels impossible. This is like one of the reasons why I'm making this channel. Like I know what it was to, you know, be an early parent and also trying to start a business and also save my marriage and like do all the things. Like I know what that is. So like, if you have any questions or comments, any things that, you know, that kind of are burning that I can kind of deep dive into, I would love to do that. All right. You may be wondering, okay, where are we going? Like, where is this? What's the thing? I'm pretty sure that's blown out. Probably can't see that. Where are we going? Well, we're on our weekend track. We have a different schedule for our weekday than our weekend track. Our weekend track is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we Uber. We take care of the bread and butter. And I think this is a really big, important thing as an entrepreneur, as a parentpreneur. You have to take care of the bread and butter. You cannot depend on the income of the business to sustain you, at least initially. 1 second, what is this person doing? They got their hazards on, speeding up. All right. And so what we do is we run Uber and we take care of the money for the bills for the house, and then anything else that we make on top of the business is cake. You know, it is money. So that's dope. Hold on 1 second. Most shaky ride ever. All right. Right now, we are literally at the airport. There are surges that happen, right? So there's a big surge right now that is happening. And so we're right here at the airport trying to grab that surge, and they come, they go. They're here and they're gone. I think this one is now gone. But that's the thing. We take care of the family first, because it gets really frustrating. It's not fun to depend solely on your business income, especially in the early beginnings, especially when you're just starting, because these contracts, they take time to generate. They take time, like, you know, to accumulate. And that, if you pretty much just work as, you know, I wouldn't say as few hours, but if you can work and take care of the bread and butter that comes with it, you're able to then give your business the breathing room it needs. You still do, of course, hard work. It's a lot of hard work to run a business, to operate a business, but at least your operations aren't beholden to money. Because I promise you, when you're in a scarcity mindset, when you're like, oh shit, like if I don't make X and Y, Z, whatever, you know, this month, this thing will happen. And I think many of us are there. Like, when that is wholly and solely dependent on just your business income, that could be super scary, because, you know, your business income probably is not stable yet. It's probably not to that point. So that's what we do. We do Friday, Saturday. I just started kind of adding Sunday to the mix because it seems to be working out pretty well. To take care of the bills, we'll run this thing from Friday. We'll run it from 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then Saturday from 9 a.m. Today's Saturday, 9 a.m. It's actually right about to be 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday we'll run it till about 3 p.m. So like 9 to 3, and that'll be it. You know, we run up the clock, take care of the hours. Yes, those are a lot of hours, but I'd rather do that. I'd rather sprint. I'd rather take care of this stuff up front so that I have the whole week, Monday through Thursday, to just focus on building my business. You know, so like that's how we run it. If you can't tell already, if you made it all the way down here, we're the tired wheel is coming out in this one. Absolutely. Whenever I get tired, which I'll probably do this here after I grab some gas. When I get tired, like I take, I just pull out my airplane pillow, take a little 10-minute nap, and then we're usually pretty good for another couple hours. So like anytime like you're on the road, just get you a little airplane pillow, take a little 10-minute nappy nap, and yeah, like do that. All right, we are pulling up right now. Shink right here. You guys rolled with me all the way to, guess where we're at? Guess where we're at? Hold up. Got you. Shoot. Oh, we did get the surge. We did get the surge on the phone. I did not think that it hit the collect. I did not think that it happened. But we did. Let me focus that. We did hit the $14 surge. Let's go. We good. We got it. The frankness it paid off. Let's see. Where are we at? Get this. There we go. We are at Chick-fil-A, my go-to breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I am moving, when I am doing this whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. We might mix it up a little bit and do a little Five Guys, but bro, this is the place. So we're gonna get a chicken biscuit, go over to the gas station right over here, get gassed up back there, and then run this thing. And our first break will be at 12. And then we'll take a little bit darker here, right? 1 second. A little better. Our first break will be at 12. And then we'll have a movie theater break at 7. Fridays and Saturdays are movie theater break. We're going to see that Mad Max 2, that Furiosa, I think that's called. So yeah, we're here, Chick-fil-A. Thanks for sticking with the ride, the crazy shaky footage. And comment below if you have some more questions that I can answer. All right, love you guys. Bye.